Hi, my name's Andrew Poole. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to do an improved version effectively of my sm7b versus the Rode Podmic videos, so stick around. Hi, well, what a difference a week makes. The first time I filmed this, it was 41 degrees Celsius outside, which is, I think it's over 105 Fahrenheit. And I thought I'd like to do today's video outside. As it turns out, it's overcast and raining, such is life. Why am I shooting this video? Well, the first one was recorded inside and there were some issues with it. I wasn't really happy with the production, and also because I didn't expect anyone to watch the video, but it seems people have taken an interest. So I'm going to dive deeper into microphone testing. So the first step with that is to sort out some of the issues with the testing I did last time. Last time I tested in a room and with the speakers not that far from a wall. And what happens then is the sound that propagates from a speaker hits the boundary behind it, bounces forward, and the compressions and rarefactions join the sound coming out the front of the speaker, and it causes what we call comb filtering, and you get this up and down effect here until you get to the transition frequency where the room has less and less impact. So this creates bad sound. Now, in fact, the measurements from last time still stand because they're all equally comparative, but I still wanted to do a better job. But this speaker boundary interference response is also a reason why in your home theatre you never have your speakers closer to the wall than about a metre. Or if you have to, then you need acoustic treatment behind it, unless the speakers are specifically designed for speaker boundary interference response or mounted into the wall or into what we call a baffle wall. Anyway, that's another topic, but if you want to make your home theatre sound great, that's something that you need to do. All right, so what did I do? I decided I needed an anechoic chamber. Don't have one of those. The next best bet is to go outside, because outside we have what we call an infinite baffle. No walls to bounce sound off, less reflections, and that's what I've done. Now, I don't have a massive open space, so I had to use this area here, and this is my testing setup. Of course, there's always the floor, and the floor does reflect some sound back, but certainly if you have a look at the test results here compared to the previous one, there's a very, very big difference. So how am I testing? First of all, I'm using my calibration microphone. This is a CM20 reference microphone. Now, even reference microphones aren't perfect, and so they need a calibration file like this, which makes adjustments for any imperfections in the microphone, so that you know that when you're measuring something, what you're seeing is a true representation of the sound and not necessarily of the microphone. With that is my iAudio Interface 2 by Studio 6 Digital. I love this device. This is a fantastic little interface, and through this I can send my analog sound to an iPad or to a Windows machine, and I get very, very good results with this. It doesn't really affect the sound at all. It's incredibly portable, and I also can use this for podcasts, which is nice. So if you're looking for probably one of the smallest little interfaces, then this isn't a bad option. Okay. That matches up, by the way, with the Studio 6 Digital audio suite called Audio Tools, which you can find in the Apple Store. So I set this up and I started off with the reference microphone. You've already seen that graph, and I just wanted to make sure I was getting good, consistent results. The monitor is a Yamaha HS8 monitor, incredibly flat, except when you get down to the lower frequencies, where of course it's not a subwoofer, so it just doesn't generate those sounds. It's perfect for what we need, and it's certainly, by a long shot, very much good enough. So off we go. I started testing, and I started with the sm7b. If you're familiar with the Shure sm7b, on the back there are two switches. One is for a high-pass filter, and one puts a bit of sort of mid to high boost on the signal. I did 3 tests, one with these all off, actually 4 tests. One with these all off, one with the high pass filter on, one with the peak on, or the boost on I should say, and then one with them both on. And so this is the chart for it flat no adjustment. This is the chart for the high pass filter. This is the chart with the boost on, and this is the chart with both of them on. And it's kind of interesting because it's hard to see a great difference when you've got the boost switched on. But what we see here is that this is a really nice microphone, but there is this interesting sort of dip at the higher frequencies, which we'll talk about a bit later. So after the sm7b, we ran the Rode Podmic. I've talked about this before. This is a very heavy microphone, arguably heavier than the sm7b. Originally I thought this would be one that I would lug around with me for podcasts and voiceovers, but at this weight I'm certainly not going to be travelling far with it. Other than that, it's a fantastic microphone. It has a pop filter built in. It looks like it has an automatic internal high pass filter. It's designed for voice, but it does a really good job of that, and here is the frequency response. Right. So we'll go back to the CM20, we'll go to the flat sm7b, and back to the Podmic. All right, so, look, if you're looking for a great microphone, this certainly is it, and you'll see why these are good microphones very shortly. Seeing as I was on a roll, I thought I'd throw in an extra, and this is one of my favourite microphones at the moment, the Rode NT1. So this went up onto the test stand, and I tested it without the supplied pop filter, and this is the result. And then I was curious to see what would happen if you add the pop filter back in, which I did, and it was tested like that as well. Now all of these tests, the distance from the driver to the pickup was as accurate as I could possibly get it. I've also, where possible, tried to adjust the sound pressure level so that these are all operating at equivalent levels. That wasn't entirely possible given the time I had, but I did the best job I could. Right, then I thought I'd throw in a bit of a curveball. I wanted to buy some microphones that I could throw in the car and travel around with for my work, and I watched a few YouTube videos, and one of the microphones I settled on was a Neewer NW800. I'd seen some quite good reviews on these, and I thought these must be quite decent microphones. And I've got another video coming up, so stick around and watch that on the Neewer NW800 because I think you'll be really interested. But that issue aside, ready for this? Here is the profile of the Neewer NW800. Here is the CM20, and here is the sm7b, and this is the NT1, the Podmic, and then this. So this is a mess. This is a real mess. Now it's interesting because on the YouTube videos, when you listen to the voice comparisons, you think, oh, it doesn't sound too bad. But in reality, when you play them back in detail, in real life, under consistent conditions, this thing just doesn't sound that good at all. And as I said, check my other video on the Neewer NW800 to see more about these microphones and why I won't be buying another one of these ever again. Okay folks, so that's a quick wrap up. I didn't want to drag this out. Down below you will find links where you can actually download these JPEGs and even the text files from the tests. So knock yourselves out. Please give me some feedback. I've got a video coming up also on voice testing of microphones, especially in relation to noise rejection. I have an issue with the way that they're tested on a lot of the other YouTube videos, and I'll demonstrate that shortly. So check that out and you'll see why noise rejection on a lot of YouTube videos is actually not that accurate. Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate your support. As always, please comment. I do try to answer as many of the comments as possible. And if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell, and I'll try and keep you updated. We've got more videos coming your way. Thank you.